Resist your social conditioning. If you're an introvert, there's nothing wrong with you. You were raised a certain way and that's who you are. You know that feeling when you just need to get away from other people? If you're an introvert like me, there's a good chance you feel that way most of the time. When I feel that way, my favorite way to escape the city, the noise, the people, is to come to the mountains. I found that spending a lot of time outside is a way to keep myself mentally healthy. I absolutely love being in the mountains. I love spending time alone in the mountains. I love camping, being in nature, listening to what the wind in the trees is saying, what the river's saying. It's much more interesting to me than what most people are saying. For instance, today the river's telling me that the snow in the mountains is melting really quickly, and so the river's running high and fast. It's quite strong this time of year. These are the kinds of things that I like to listen to. I spend as much time as possible in the mountains, in the forest, camping, hiking, being in nature. This is something that gives my life a lot of meaning, a lot of purpose, and most of the time I do it alone. Spending time alone in the mountains just makes me feel very calm, very connected to the world, to nature, to something much bigger than myself. Sharing it with another person can sometimes be meaningful and rich, but I find that it can be quite distracting to be in nature with another person because you're not fully absorbed in the moment. You're thinking about the other person. You're trying to have a conversation. You're talking. You're thinking about the other person's needs. Are they having a good time? Do they want to go this way on the trail? Do they want to go that way? And when you do it alone, you can really just follow your whimsy and go wherever you want, and really pay close attention to what's happening around you, and listen to the forest, listen to the birds. I find that this is the best way to experience nature. Just knowing that there's no one else in the forest but me, that I've got this beautiful trail, this beautiful river, this beautiful park all to myself, is such a profound comfort for me. There's no one here talking on their phone, on speakerphone. There's no honking horns. It's just me. Just the sound of the river and the birds and my own footsteps and my own breathing. I'm in a park today called Stein Valley Park. It's 250,000 acres in southern British Columbia, and it doesn't have a single road in it. It's a huge wilderness park. It's never been logged, never had a road built into it, and it's just pristine West Coast wilderness. Oh! Hot today. Good morning. It's a beautiful morning here on the Stein River. It was so nice to sleep outside last night. Fall asleep to the sound of the wind in the trees and the rushing river. Back home in Vancouver, I need to sleep with earplugs because of the general noise of the city. My neighbors, the man-children driving their Harley Davidsons at night. Just the general hubbub and noise of the city. Falling asleep to natural sounds is such a treat. When I was younger, I used to think of my introversion as a problem, as a character flaw to be improved. But as I've gotten older, I've learned to embrace that part of myself. And I've realized that this is who I am. I'm not going to change. And so I found ways to really enjoy being alone. And to not be ashamed that I don't have a large desire to connect with other people. My absolute favorite thing in the world is to spend time in nature, camping, hiking, just being outside. It's never boring. I'm never lonely. Sometimes I like doing it with my partner. She's a good hiking companion, so we have a good time on the trail together. But in general, I prefer doing it alone because when I'm alone, I'm fully immersed in the experience. I can really listen to what's happening around me. I'm not thinking about if she's having a good time, if she's struggling with a difficult trail, which way should we go, negotiating a camp spot. So when I camp alone, I'm fully immersed in the moment. I'm fully present with nature, and I can really listen, really pay attention, really be in the mountains. And there's no better feeling than to be fully immersed in nature. I feel like this is an activity that's perfect for an introvert because it brings so much richness and meaning to my life. It's physically challenging, and living in British Columbia, there are just endless hiking, camping opportunities. So this is just such a beautiful place to live, and it's just such a great way to connect with nature and a fantastic way for an introvert to feel like his life has meaning because there's so much pressure as a person in society to connect with other people and to feel like your life doesn't have meaning unless you have a lot of friends and you're an extrovert and you're going to parties and going out to dinner with people and doing all these social things that we're conditioned as people to think bring our lives meaning. And if it brings your life meaning, fantastic, good for you. I think that's great. And people who have an easy time connecting with other people, I envy you. And these are people who are worth knowing, but I'm not one of those people, and I've made my peace with that, and I'm perfectly happy spending days alone in the mountains, hiking, camping, and just connecting with nature. This is who I am. My life is very rich and fulfilling and meaningful because I have this passion in my life. So if you're an introvert too, and you've found a really meaningful way to spend your time, please leave a comment below and let me know. I feel like our experiences are so often filtered through other people, and other people are unpredictable, disappointing. They can be wonderful too. I have a loyal, long-term, close partnership with someone who I love very much. I'm close with my family, but in general, I like spending most of my time alone. I think if I didn't have a couple of close connections in my life, I might be lonely, but I'm not, because these people in my life who I care about, they know that I like to spend a lot of time alone, and so I'm able to truly immerse myself in my solitude, knowing that when I want to reconnect with another person, those people will be there. This has been a great trip. They always are. I try to get away as often as possible, and I plan many trips to nature this summer. Summer's just getting started, so I'm really excited for the summer. Thanks for watching.